Hello, welcome to News English from Nai radio and television station. Here comes the news today. Yesterday, the Dong Nai Provincial Party Executive Committee held the 14th conference, 11th term, to give opinions and discuss many important contents. Speaking at the closing of the conference, Secretary of Dong Nai Provincial Party Committee Nguyễn Hồng Lĩnh said that high economic growth is good, but quality must be the most important. Therefore, growth quality must be controlled, both focusing on attracting new investment and ratifying projects that have been granted investment licenses but are slow to implement. The Provincial Party Secretary also said that the Provincial Party Standing Committee will establish a delegation to monitor why many things are still slow, especially individual responsibility for each individual who fails to complete their tasks. The Provincial Party Committee leaders also requested to focus on management and use of resources, environmental protection, and building a quality living environment for people. The first 80 cases in Long Thanh District, mainly in Phúc Binh and Long Phúc communes, will soon receive support with an amount of about 100 billion Vietnam dong because they are affected by the Biên Hòa Vũng Tàu Expressway project, the first phase. That is the recent assertion of the Project Management Board of Compensation, Site Clearance and Resettlement Support in Dong Nai Province for Dong Nai radio and television station. Accordingly, the board is currently preparing compensation and support plans for cases with large areas of land recovered to clear legal records in Long Thanh District. When completed, the board will submit it to departments and Dong Nai Provincial People's Committee for appraisal and then publicly listed in localities. The Compensation Site Clearance and Resettlement Support Project Management Board of Dong Nai Province also said that after 28 days from the date of public listing, if there are no complaints, the authorities will pay compensation and support to people. Regarding the market during the Lunar New Year of 2024, the Ministry of Industry and Trade said that it is expected that purchasing power may increase by 10% compared to the same period last year. In a difficult economic context to stimulate domestic consumption, many businesses have plans to launch promotions and discounts on many essential consumer products, especially in the months leading up to Tet. The supply of essential goods was proactively prepared by businesses very early, with the amount of inventory increasing by 10 to 25% over the same period. Localities and businesses have also prepared goods early to serve the 2024 Lunar New Year, along with the market stabilization program, with many diverse and abundant products. Israeli troops and Hamas fighters yesterday fought fiercely on the ground in Gaza after Israel attacked through the devastated Palestinian lands to reach the city center of Khan Yunis in southern Gaza. Israeli troops and tanks have advanced to the southern part of the Gaza Strip after gaining most control of the north in the campaign to eliminate Hamas. Israel has besieged Khan Yunis in a wave of increasing violence since the ceasefire collapsed last week. Israel said its forces have been engaged in fierce fighting with Hamas and have attacked hundreds of targets in the area, including a militant group near a school in northern Gaza. Hamas armed wing Al-Qassam brigades also said its fighters clashed with Israeli forces. Hamas claimed to have killed or wounded 8 Israeli soldiers and destroyed 24 military vehicles. Israel previously confirmed that 84 of its soldiers have died since the ground campaign began 5 weeks ago. The Washington Post Institute for Study of War said Hamas is using improvised explosive devices and anti-personnel mines to train tactics when switching to close combat. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida yesterday chaired an online meeting of leaders of the group of leading industrialized countries in the world, G7, when Japan ended its role as rotating chairman this year. According to Japanese Chief Cabinet Secretary Hirokazu Masuno, the focus of discussion of the G7 leaders was the Russia-Ukraine conflict and fighting between the Israeli army and the Palestinian Hamas force. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also participated in the conference to call for support for Kiev. At a meeting in Tokyo last month, G7 foreign ministers reaffirmed their support for Ukraine and pledged to stand with Kiev as long as possible. In addition to the above topics, the conference will also discuss artificial intelligence issues. G7 leaders also focused on providing financial support to developing countries. The G7 group includes the UK, US, Germany, Japan, France, Canada, and Italy. After Japan, Italy will assume the G7 presidency next year. That's all for news in English for today. Join us and goodbye.